So let me address the main concern of all of those people all across the country screaming that we are a state of racists. I'm from Arizona, and I am not a racist. I am a realist. Let me explain to you how things are here, because obviously you don't know. We have hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants in our state, and they are refusing to leave. They are taking jobs from American citizens who are without jobs, and they are driving up our costs, be it healthcare costs, education costs, you name it. We're paying a lot more out of pocket for them. That's 500,000 people. And here's the sad reality. Almost all of them look Hispanic. Oh, shocker, I know. For us to deal with the problem, we must use common sense. You know how most people end up getting robbed, shot, and killed in the United States? They don't use their common sense. They ignore that little voice inside of them telling them to pay attention, to, do this or do that. They just say, oh, I'm going to be politically correct. I will ignore my common sense. And then they end up paying the price for that. Well, we here have chosen not to ignore our common sense. We know who the illegals are. And we can differentiate between Hispanic Americans and illegal immigrants. And you know how we can do this? Because there are so many illegal immigrants, you cannot miss them. And here's another shocker. Hispanic Americans speak English. The illegal immigrants do not. Is it that hard to comprehend? Now, I know that there are going to be some of you, those of you who believe that America should be absolutely everything, who will say that it's not important that people speak English. They shouldn't have to speak English if they're a citizen. Well, you know what? There's a lot of things in this world that aren't fair. And here's an unfair reality. Almost every American citizen that I've ever met in my entire life, that you have ever met in your entire life, speaks English. And do you know why? Because it is our national language. It is the language that we speak. Now, I know that you're going to jump out and say, oh, but this isn't on the books. Books or no books, like I said before. Common sense, it's the language we speak. So if the police are pulling over someone for some criminal violation, and they don't have any identification on them whatsoever, which they should, of course, and they don't speak a lick of English, well then, even if they're not Hispanic, they should still be questioned. Their status should still be ascertained. This isn't about racism. If the illegal immigrants were all, Caucasian, and they didn't speak English, and they were pouring in, and they were all dirt poor, well, we would still enact this law, and we would still want them rounded up and deported. I know, it's sad, it's very hard. But reality is reality, and we must accept that. So remember that when you hear people calling us racists, we're not. We are realists. No one in this state is racist. No one here hates Hispanic Americans. Hell, we don't even hate the illegals. We are just doing what we have to do in order to continue, to survive, to live. Because the only other alternative is that we open our borders and we allow everyone on the freaking planet to come live with us, and then we will all be poor. So ask yourself, do you want to maintain your standard of living, or are you willing to give up everything for people you've never met, who don't share the same culture or the same language? It's a tough question, isn't it?